Alright, hey guys, I'm the Gamer here and I'm back with another collection video. This is going to be my first collection video for 2023. And today, guys, I'm doing a bit of an unusual collection video. Today, I'm going to be showing off my game compilation collection. Yes, game compilation. Basically, games that contain multiple games within a game, pretty much. So it's like a collection of collections. And yeah, from what I saw, no one's done a collection video on game compilation games before, so I decided why not be the first to do it. So yeah, so these are all my game compilations. These are, like I said earlier, these are games that basically have multiple games within them, and as you can see, I got quite a lot spanning many different consoles from many different like franchises and stuff, as you can see. And yeah, I thought this would be an interesting idea for a collection video showing off my game collection games. So yeah, so I put them in order of series pretty much, so all the collections based on one particular franchise or one particular like game console. I put them all together pretty much. So yeah, so let's start things off with a bit of an unusual collection right here, one you've probably never even heard of or seen before. This is a Game Boy Advance compilation of Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Obviously the GBA versions of the two games based on the first two Sam Raimi films, both put together in one single cartridge. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance had a load of these, actually. The Game Boy Advance had a load of these different compilation cartridges. They even did some for GBA video as well. But yeah, there's that. And the next one we have here is a boxed GBA game. Here we have PacMan Collection. This has 4 Pac-Man games on it. Got the original Pac-Man, Pac Attack, which is like sort of a Tetris kind of game, Pac-Mania, and Pac-Man Arrangement. So yeah, so you got all 4 of those games on one single cartridge. And yeah, one of only 4 GBA games I own complete in box. And yeah, it's a really good condition, by the way. This was the first complete in box GBA game I ever got. And yeah, the actual cartridge is inside. Still got the original bag as well that it came in. And like there's the Nintendo health and safety thing, and the manual should be in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. There's the manual for Pac-Man Collection. So yeah, there's been many different Pac-Man collections over the years, but this is the only one that I have at the moment. It's a pretty good one, but yeah. So there you have it, Pac-Man Collection for Game Boy Advance. Put that over there. Right, and next up we have an iconic game compilation series, Namco Museum. This is the very first one, Volume 1 for the original PlayStation. There was 5 of these on the original PlayStation. I've only got just the first volume. And of course they made many more Namco Museums after this, like for the PS2 and for the Xbox. And I believe there's even one for the Switch as well. But this was the original. And yeah, and also one of the first game compilations to come out. This came out like way back in 1995. And yeah, it has a whole bunch of classic Namco arcade games on it. So yeah, Pole Position, Pac-Man, Rally X, and New Rally X. What was that? Basconian, Gallagher, and Toy Pop. So yeah, and as well as all these, Namco Museum also had a virtual 3D like museum that you could walk around as well in first person. You can like look at stuff relating to like these games, and yeah, really cool compilation for the time. Obviously, there's been a million different ways to play these games, you know, since this came out, but you know, this was like the OG, you know, the OG when it comes to game compilations. Yeah, there's a disc and manual. So yeah, so there it is, the first volume of Namco Museum. I don't know whether or not I'm going to get the others at some point, but who knows? If I find them for cheap, then I'll definitely get them. But yeah, I've only got Volume 1 at the moment. Alright, the next up we have a Atari compilation. I actually have 2. Starting off, we have Atari Anthology for the PlayStation 2. This one has 85 games on it, which include 18 classic arcade games, including Asteroids, Battlezone, Centipede, Missile Command, Tempest, etc. And 67 Atari 2600 games, which includes Gravitar, Millipede, Super Breakout, Video Pinball, Yard's Revenge, Warlords, and a bunch of others. So yeah, got that complete as well. Well, just like with Namco, you know, there's been a million different Atari compilations over the years. This is one of the early ones from 2004. But yeah, still pretty good compilation. Has some interviews as well with Nolan Bushnell, the co-founder of Atari. So yeah, got that. And then here we have the latest Atari compilation, which only came out about a couple months ago as it's recording. Atari 50, the anniversary celebration. Got the PS4 version right here. This is a really cool compilation because this includes over 100 playable games from all of Atari's systems. So you got arcade games, you got 2600 games, 5200 games, 7800, Atari 800, Atari Jaguar, and even Atari Lynx games are all playable in this collection. And yeah, and you've also got exclusive interviews with some of the people who worked at Atari. It's got an interactive timeline that you can explore, tons of artwork and stuff, and it's really cool. Such a cool compilation. The disc is actually in my PS4 at the moment, so it's just an empty case right now. But yeah, because I've been playing this compilation quite a bit, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, Atari 50, honestly a must-have if you're a die-hard Atari fan, because like I said, this has games from every single Atari system. And yeah, and I would argue this is easily the best Atari compilation ever made. It makes all the previous ones completely irrelevant, because usually Atari compilations would just be like arcade and 2600 games, but this has games from all their consoles, which is just really fucking cool. But yeah, so there it is, Atari 50. Alright, then next up we have Space Invaders Anniversary. This is a collection of course, the classic arcade game Space Invaders, and yeah, and this has a bunch of 9 different versions of the everlasting Space Invaders. So you've got multiple different like color versions, like black and white, also 3D Space Invaders as well. That's probably my favorite from this collection, is the 3D one. And yeah, it's just got different variations of Space Invaders. So yeah, there it is, the disc and manual. Alright, now for the Sonic compilations, which there's quite a lot. This is far from all of them, this is all the ones I've got at the moment. So starting off with the oldest compilation, we have Sonic & Knuckles Collection for PC. This has Sonic 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and Sonic 3 Knuckles. And yeah, and that's all you get. You don't get like Knuckles and Sonic 2 or anything, or Sonic 1 and 2, you just get the different Sonic 3 games. So yeah, there's the disc. Yeah, pretty pointless compilation now, because obviously there's a million different ways to play these games, and a million different compilations that they're featured on. But for 1997 when this came out, it's pretty cool, I guess, playing these games on a PC. Alright, and here we have by far the most iconic Sonic compilation, Sonic Mega Collection. A lot of people grew up with this game back when it came out, and a lot of people, this was probably like their first introduction to Sonic was with Mega Collection. You got all the classic Mega Drive games right here, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Yeah, it's got some hidden bonus games as well, plus some special bonus material like 100 Sonic comic book illustrations, character artwork, and more. So yeah, this is such a cool compilation, even though it's outdated now and there is like an expanded version of the game, which we'll get to in a minute, but still, for when this came out, this was like honestly a must-have, and it still is really cool, like even after all these years later, even though it's not the most complete collection, it's still a really good one of the best compilations just ever in my opinion. Alright, and here we have the expanded version of Mega Collection, Mega Collection Plus, got it here for the PS2. Yeah, this one has all the games that are featured on the GameCube original, but also includes some bonus ones, such as some Game Gear games, such as the Game Gear version of Sonic 1, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Drift, Sonic Labyrinth, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Blast, plus it has some more unlockable games and more unlockable like artwork and movies you can watch, like it has some cutscenes from Sonic Heroes. And yeah, there it is. The disc on mine is the Platinum version for some reason, I don't know why, it's just the way it came. But yeah, got that complete. So yeah, this is, in my opinion, the best Sonic compilation. Of course it is, because, it's the Mega Collection, which is already great on its own, plus, literally plus, it's got, like, extra stuff. So, yeah, definitely the best Sonic compilation. And, yeah, and I've also got the Xbox version as well, Mega Collection Plus. I did used to have the PC version a long time ago, but I got rid of it for some reason. But, yeah, this is the same game, but just on the Xbox, got that complete as well. Right, and then we have the Sonic Gems collection. Here we have it for the GameCube. This one was a bit of a weird collection when it came out, because this one focuses on like some of the more obscure Sonic games. Like you got Sonic CD, which I believe this was the first time Sonic CD ever got a re-release outside of its initial like Sega CD and PC port in the 90s. But Sonic the Fighters is on here as well, which was originally an arcade fighting game. Sonic R, plus some more bonus Game Gear games that weren't on Mega Collection Plus. So you got Sonic 2, Sonic Spinball, Sonic Triple Trouble, which is the sequel to Sonic Chaos, Sonic Drift 2, Tails Sky Patrol, and Tails Adventure. Plus has some more unlockable games like Vector Man 1 and 2. Plus the Japanese version also has Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 as well. But not the American or European version for some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, got that complete as well. This is still a really solid compilation. Yeah, it's interesting that they decided to to even do this in the first place. It was mainly probably just a reason to finally re-release Sonic CD. But yeah, it's a very, very unique compilation, because it focuses on the obscure side of Sonic's past at the time. And yeah, got the PS2 version right here, which only came out in Japan and Europe. North America never got this version, they only got the GameCube one. But yeah, got that complete as well. Alright, and then the last Sonic compilation I've got, this is actually the newest one I've got. It's not the newest released, far from it, but this is the newest one that I've got. I don't own Sonic Origins. But yeah, but this is Sonic Classic Collection for Nintendo DS. This one only has 4 games. So obviously a big step down from like Mega Collection and stuff. It's only got just like the 4 mainline Mega Drive games, Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. I think it also has the lock-on games like Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Knuckles and Sonic 2. But yeah, so there it is. And I've also got my copy of Sonic Advance in there as well. Yeah, I keep inside my Sonic Classic Collection case. But yeah, Sonic Advance is of course not a compilation, but still a good game. But yeah, there it is. Alright, so those were all the Sonic compilations. Now moving on to these other ones right here. Here we have just a bunch of random compilations based on like some specific consoles and some other like franchises. So starting off with the Mega Drive compilations, I have quite a lot. Starting off with 2 Mega Drive compilations on the Mega Drive itself. These are both called Mega Game 6. There was a bunch of these like compilation cards for the Mega Drive released back in the day. But despite both of these sharing the exact same name, they actually have different games on both of them. So this one here has Sega Soccer, Columns, Super Monaco GP, Revenge of Shinobi, Sonic 1, and Streets of Rage 1. And this one has... the label's ripped on this one, but it has, I believe also this one has Super Monaco GP, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Golden Axe. I forgot what the top game is. I think it was something Italia 90 or something. But yeah. But yeah, I got these, and yeah, and I actually just got a Mega Drive Model 2 for Christmas as well, which is really cool. I'm really looking forward to collecting more for the Mega Drive, like properly collecting for it now that I have my own. But yeah, so those are 2 Mega Drive collections for the Mega Drive itself. And then here we have the generically named Sega Mega Drive Collection for PSP. This is the PSP Essentials re-release. So yeah, this one has 27 Mega Drive games on it, including Sonic 1 and 2, Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4, Echo the Dolphin, Alex Kidd and the Enchanted Castle, Bonanza Brothers, Kid Chameleon, Flicky, Game Ground, Super Thunderblade, Sword of Vermilion, Vector Man 1 and 2, and more. Plus it's got some exclusive arcade titles and like videos and artwork and stuff, interviews. So yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is a really good compilation. Obviously not the most complete Mega Drive collection, but it's still a good one. And here we have the PS2 version of the same compilation. Again, just called Sega Mega Drive Collection. Same thing, but on the PS2. There it is. And then we have the sequel, Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection on the Xbox 360. This one has, I believe, like 49 games on it. It's got all the games from the previous collection, plus more. Yeah, you got Sonic 1, 2, and 3, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, Echo the Dolphin 1 and 2, Shining Force 1 and 2, Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4, Alex Kidd, Shinobi 3, Columns, Altered Beast, Sonic Spinball, Kid Chameleon, Vector Man, and bunch of others. So yeah, this is a really, really solid compilation. Yeah, nothing's really topped it since. Like, even though there has been another Mega Drive compilation released since, I still think this is probably the best one, honestly. Like, the best Mega Drive compilation released thus far. But yeah, but this one's the newest. This next one right here, Sega Mega Drive Classics. We have the PS4 version right here. This one has over 50 games, but unfortunately it has some games missing on here that were on Ultimate Collection but aren't on this one for some reason. Like Sonic 3, isn't on this collection, but it does have Sonic 1 and 2, and yeah, a whole bunch of others. You can see don't know if you can see it right there, but like that tiny write-in lists off all the games. And unfortunately, this one doesn't have like any of like the bonus stuff that like Ultimate Collection had. Like, you know how Ultimate Collection had like bonus arcade games and like interviews and stuff, and also Sega Mega Drive Collection had that as well. But this one doesn't, unfortunately, which is pretty a shame. This one's pretty much just the games. But yeah, still a good compilation though, all things considered. So yeah, got that. And I've also got the same collection on Nintendo Switch as well. So there's a Switch version of Sega Mega Drive Classics. There it is. Alright, then next we have Dreamcast Collection, which is pretty self-explanatory of what it is. It's a Dreamcast Collection. The only collection they made for the Dreamcast, although these are the Xbox Live Arcade versions of all these games. They've got Sega Bass Fishing, Sonic Adventure, Space Channel 5 Part 2, and Crazy Taxi. So yeah, it's a bit of a lazy collection. They literally just took the Xbox Live Arcade versions of all of these and just packaged them onto a disc. That's literally all they did. But yeah, there it is. Barely played this one, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, it would be cool in the future if they did like a sort of like an Atari 50, but for Sega, and had like games from like all of Sega's past consoles and stuff. Like how fucking sick would that be? Like, imagine Atari 50, but like a Sega version of it. Like that would be fucking cool. That would be so cool if that ever came out. But yeah, it's pretty unlikely. Alright, and the next we have a collection that I guarantee none of you have ever heard of before. Zero Tolerance Collection. This is a fairly recent one. That came out last year in 2022. And yeah, this one's kind of a weird one. This one has 3 Zero Tolerance games on it. You know, you got the original Zero Tolerance Underground, and Beyond Zero Tolerance. But the thing is weird is that Zero Tolerance was a game that never actually became a series. Like Zero Tolerance, just the first one, came out back in like the mid-90s for the Sega Mega Drive. It was a first-person shooter on the Sega Mega Drive. And it was going to have a sequel called Beyond Zero Tolerance, but ultimately never came out. And yeah, so it never actually ended up becoming a series, but it managed to get its own collection. So Beyond Zero Tolerance is actually just a prototype of the game that leaked on the internet like years ago. And Zero Tolerance Underground is actually a completely new game. It's like a ROM hack of the original Zero Tolerance. So yeah, it's a really weird compilation, but I'm glad it exists. You know, I'm glad that Zero Tolerance is playable on modern consoles. But yeah, but it's just so weird. You know, the fact that it's got an entirely new game on it, plus, you know, the prototype of Beyond Zero Tolerance. It's just, yeah, it's a weird collection, but still pretty cool. Alright, and next up we have the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. This one's a really cool one. This one has 12 different Street Fighter games on it. You've got the original Street Fighter, which very rarely ever gets re-released. Street Fighter 2, plus all the different versions. You've got Street Fighter 2, I believe the Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3, and all different versions of Street Fighter 3, so Next Generation, Second Impact, and Third Strike. And yeah, this is a really, really, really cool compilation. And yeah, look at that back artwork. Look at that. But yeah, really, really, really cool compilation. If you're a fighting game fan, especially if you like Street Fighter, this is definitely a must-own. Alright, then moving on to a few Nintendo compilations. This one right here is by far the most expensive compilation, or at least the one I've spent the most money on personally. This is the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition for the GameCube. Yeah, this was a bit of an interesting one, because this wasn't a collection that was like available in stores or anything that you can easily buy. Back when it came out, this was exclusive to mainly just GameCube bundles. Yeah, that was really the only way you can get this. There was probably another way you can get it as well, but the main method of getting this back in the day would just be like just buying a GameCube that would actually have this like bundled in. But yeah, it's a compilation of 4 Legend of Zelda games. Got the original, got Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask, plus a demo for Wind Waker as well. Pretty cool. It also has a Zelda retrospective video on it as well, which goes over all the Zelda titles released up to that point. But yeah, this is the only Zelda compilation that they ever made, surprisingly, and it was a bundle exclusive. But yeah, but still a really, really cool compilation. And yeah, a very pricey one nowadays, but yeah, still really, really, really cool to have. Alright, next up we have Super Mario All-Stars 25th Anniversary for Nintendo Wii. This is by far the laziest compilation that Nintendo has ever released. If you thought 3D All-Stars was lazy, which we'll get to in a minute, this one takes the fucking cake when it comes to lazy collections, because this one, literally all they did was they took the original Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo, which was basically like a collection of 16-bit remasters of the 8-bit NES games. They took that and just put it on a Wii disc. and that's it. They didn't like upgrade the games again with Wii graphics or anything. No, they literally just took the Super Nintendo game and just put it on a Wii disc. It even says right there, the content of this game is the same as the original SNES game. So yeah, they literally couldn't be bothered. They literally just put an SNES game on a Wii disc. That's basically all they did with this collection. Now 3D All-Stars doesn't seem all that lazy now, does it? But yeah, my copy even comes with the original like Club Nintendo card thing. Which is pretty cool. It hasn't even been scratched off. So yeah, pretty cool. Even got my original receipt as well from CEX. Oh my god. I paid 22 quid for this on the 13th of August 2016. It's still a good collection for what it is. I mean, the games on it are still like really good. It's a really good 16-bit remaster of the old NES games, but still like when they brought it over to the Wii, they literally just did like this could have easily just been a virtual console release, but no, they decided to give this like a case and everything, release it physically, and it's just such a lazy freaking collection, you know, because they literally just did nothing. They literally put a SNES ROM on a Wii disc. That's all they fucking did for Mario's 25th anniversary. It's just, yeah, just so fucking lazy. Yeah, still a cool collection, just a lazy re-release of it. Alright, and then last but not least, we have Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Now, this was quite an infamous collection when it came out, you know, with the whole thing of it being completely discontinued, like on, what, March the 31st, 2021 or something. They were going to completely remove it from the eShop and stop printing physical copies. But yeah, this collection has Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. And, yeah, what can I say about this collection that hasn't already been said? I mean, we all know that it's a pretty lackluster collection. They literally just took these 3 games and just slapped on a Switch cart. I mean, they didn't really do like a whole lot to improve it. I mean, they did make Super Mario Sunshine widescreen and allow people to play Galaxy with a proper controller for the first time. But yeah, and the bonus is just laughable, honestly. Like, the bonus in this collection is literally just like the soundtrack for all 3 games. That's it. But yeah, and then Super Mario 64, they literally just did like fuck all to it, really. It's like they put more effort into like this than they actually did with the game itself. But yeah, it's again, what can I really say about this collection that has already been said, you know? I mean, it's still a good collection. I mean, you get like 3 like amazing games, you know, in one cartridge, but it's just like, you know, it would have been nice if they put just a little bit more effort into it, you know, just like maybe add some more extras, maybe add some more games to it, like Galaxy 2 or something. But yeah, it is what it is. Still a good collection, but just very, very lazy in a lot of ways. But yeah, put that over there. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is my game compilation collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what's your favourite game compilation. My favourite, in case I haven't already mentioned before, is definitely Sonic Made Collection Plus. You know, I grew up playing this game, not back when it was new, because I was only like 2 years old when this came out. But, you know, I played this like when I was young, and yeah, it's still an amazing collection, like to this day. And yeah, so anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, please like, subscribe, and peace, and I shall see you guys in the next one, in the next video.